Recently, 6 languages got the status of classical language, including Assamese, Bangla, etc. What's my take on this? This classical and quantum debate, classical versus quantum. Okay, that's physics, right? Classical. This what's the definition of a classical language? What's the definition? What's the definition of a classical dance versus a quantum dance or a non-classical dance? Why do we need to have this terminology and this thing of attaching a certain kind of tag on a language? I don't get it. Make every language a classical language. Assamese, I mean, look, how old is Assamese as a language? Not quite sure. It's one of the newer upper branch languages, newer in the context of 10,000 years of Indian civilization, right? I would say if you want to call something classical, it has to have a certain set of criteria that it meets. The first criterion I would say is a language should be at least 2,000 years old to be a classical language. Do these languages meet those criteria? I don't think so. Only Sanskrit and Tamil meet those criteria. Telugu also, I'm sure. Telugu is probably older than Tamil. Um, so, from that viewpoint, only 2 or 3 languages can be classical languages. And obviously, these languages, if you want to call them classical languages, need to have a tremendous amount of literature, a huge corpus of literature. Now, from that perspective, so I don't know on what basis they've given the title of classical language. I don't know what's the purpose of doing this. I think it's got some kind of political purpose. If you truly value your languages, then why don't you do something to promote them instead of putting a tag on them? Classical language. India's leaders are all words, no action. All words, all slogans, no action. If you want to promote Assamese, why don't you give 2,000 scholarships in India? 5-year scholarships to genuine scholars who will produce new literature in Assamese. You gonna do that? No. But you want votes, so you will say Assam is a classical language, and Bangla is a classical language. But maybe Dogri is a quantum language, right? And this is just, I mean, what's my take on this? I think this is all nonsense. I think every language is important. Every Indian language is important. And if the government truly values India's culture and language, they'll put their money where their mouth is. Not just put tags on languages to hopefully get some votes. Very, very, I don't know, annoying. Every language should be valued. Every language should be promoted. The government should invest money in the promotion of every language. Give scholarships to scholars and writers and authors who can create new literature in Indian languages. Right? You're going to have to spend money for that. But will the government do that? No, 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 no. So, yeah, it's just it's a farce. It's a joke. It will make a lot of people happy. Indians chase status, right? Oh, my language is now a classical language. What difference does it make in your life? What difference does it make to your language? Are you going to have more output of literature in your language now? Is your language going to last longer now because it's now got the tag of a classical language? It makes no difference in the real world. So when it comes to culture, this government is a horrible non-performer. I'm talking about the Narendra Modi government. Extremely poor performer in terms of culture. They've done nothing for Indian culture. They've done a great deal for India's infrastructure, for India's economy. When it comes to culture, they've done nothing. And that is extremely disappointing.